Good morning. I'm Andy Myers at Weiss Research, and this is your morning market alert for Monday, November 14th. We're likely to see some modest losses when the opening bell rings on Wall Street this morning. Global equities posted gains last week as optimism about political movement in Italy boosted investor sentiment. Over the weekend, Italy's parliament approved additional austerity measures and economic reforms. The moves were aimed at reassuring investors that Rome can get its massive debt load under control. Following the successful votes, Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi stepped down as Prime Minister and will be replaced by economist Mario Monti. As the immediate crisis in Italy seems to have passed for now, the yield on the country's 10-year bond continues to retreat from dangerous levels. Right now, the benchmark note is yielding around 6.6% after hitting a Euro-era high of nearly 7.5% last week. Although this weekend's developments are largely seen as positive for Italy and the Eurozone as a whole, investors are still uncertain about the ability of Europe's leaders to get the sovereign debt crisis under control. German Chancellor Angela Merkel did nothing to reassure the markets in her speech this morning. She repeated her assertion that Germany does not support joint government bonds issued by the full European Union. Many experts have said that joint Eurozone bonds may be the best way to combat the debt crisis. Following those comments, Frankfurt's DAX index is losing more than 1%, and the CAC 40 in Paris is dropping 1.5%. The euro is also giving up some ground this morning, falling well below $1.37 against the greenback. And the dollar's relative strength is weighing on commodities. Crude oil prices are dropping back near $98 a barrel, while gold backs down to about $1,780 an ounce. On the corporate front, we may see some heavy trading volume in shares of IBM. Warren Buffett announced on CNBC this morning that his investment firm Berkshire Hathaway bought more than 10 billion shares in the company over the past 3 quarters. The purchases give Berkshire a 5.4% stake in International Business Machines. Separately, General Electric said it signed a 12-year, $6 billion contract with Emirates Airlines. GE will provide and maintain engines for the carrier's new fleet of Boeing 777 jets. Yesterday, Emirates announced it will buy 50 of the jets for about $18 billion, the single largest commercial airplane order in Boeing's history by dollar value. And one more deal to tell you about this morning. Bank of America is selling its 10.4 billion shares of China Construction Bank. The sale was made through private transactions with a group of investors, and Bank of America says it will result in an after-tax gain of $1.8 billion. We also have some earnings news to report. Department store chain J.C. Penney swung to a loss in its fiscal fourth quarter, and sales slumped by nearly 5%. Both the top and bottom line numbers were in line with expectations, but J.C. Penney shares are losing nearly 3% on the news. Meanwhile, Lowe's reported a 44% drop in quarterly earnings, coming in below its previous forecasts. The decline was mainly due to store closings, as well as the continued effect of low consumer confidence and the sluggish housing market. However, the home improvement retailer did post an increase of 0.7% in same-store sales, reversing the declines in the last 2 quarters. Investors seem to be focusing on that number this morning, sending Lowe's shares up about 0.5%. That's the latest from Weiss Research. We'll be back after the opening bell with all the market reaction.